Have you ever wondered what would happen if the ocean stopped being calm? What if the waves no longer kissed the shore gently, but rose like 20-story skyscrapers, crashing down with the power to crush everything in their path? The ocean, seemingly peaceful, can become a monster without warning. A ship weighing thousands of tons, equipped with modern engines and state-of-the-art navigation, can still be swallowed whole in minutes. No alarm, no time to turn back, no escape route. Beneath those waves lies a dark, silent world, where killer whales, great white sharks, and massive creatures we haven't even named glide through the depths. What would you do if you knew that right beneath the wooden planks you're standing on, a shark the size of your living room was rising towards you? When the sea begins to bubble and the wind howls like a warning from the abyss, you'll understand. This is the ocean's rage awakening. The sea doesn't need a reason. The sea doesn't forgive. When it turns violent, everything we've built, ships, steel, technology, becomes no more than paper in a storm. This isn't a Hollywood script. These are real incidents caught on dash cams, phones, and the terrified eyes of sailors who live to tell the tale. This video is not entertainment. It's a cold warning. The ocean doesn't have to hate you to destroy you. One wave big enough is all it takes. And you, watching this right now, would you dare face it? A collision between two ships in open water. At first glance, it sounds like just another maritime accident. But sometimes, all it takes is one small impact to push the world to the edge of war. That's exactly what happened in the Sankaku Islands, a boiling hot zone of territorial tension between Japan and China. On what seemed like a calm day, a Japanese patrol vessel suddenly accelerated, shifted course, and slammed directly into the side of a Chinese ship patrolling contested waters. No warning, no retreat. The sound of metal grinding against metal echoed across the sea. And in that moment, the waves didn't just rise from the ocean, they rippled all the way through the capitals of Asia. The crash didn't sink the ships, but it awakened decades of silent hostility. Buried tensions rising like a tsunami, military radars lit up, warships mobilized, major news outlets from Tokyo, Beijing, and Washington cut their regular programming. All eyes turned to a small patch of blue on the map, now transformed into a flashpoint of national pride, power plays, and unresolved history. For the sailors on deck, this wasn't just a collision. It was a moment where one wrong move could ignite a full-blown crisis. One misstep, and the sea wouldn't just turn red from the setting sun, it would turn red from blood. This is the moment where a ship collision stops being an accident and becomes a political statement that could rewrite history. You still think the ocean is just nature? No, it's a battlefield where waves crash and power collides. Sometimes all it takes is a single moment, one misstep, one breath too slow. And suddenly you're standing right at the edge between life and death. It was supposed to be a normal afternoon. The man was casually stepping onto a small boat at the harbor. The sun cast a golden glow. The water shimmered. Everything felt calm. But just beneath that peaceful surface, death was waiting. Without warning, from the dark depths below, a great white shark exploded upward, slicing through the water like a torpedo. Its jaws wide open, teeth like serrated blades, and it was coming straight for him, less than a foot away. One heartbeat. If his leg had moved a fraction slower, if his hand hadn't caught the boat's edge in time, blood would have painted the sea. Screams echoed around the dock. The camera shook violently, and the footage of that attack, that single, horrifying leap, would go on to stun millions around the world. No one could believe he survived, but he did. Not because he was faster, not because he was stronger, but because he got lucky. Sharks don't give warnings. They don't care who you are. They strike by instinct, and if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're not a person, you're prey. This isn't a movie. This is a raw, terrifying standoff between man and nature, where 1 second is all it takes to lose everything. So ask yourself, if it were you on that dock, would you have moved fast enough? Or would you just stand there and let fate decide? The ocean has two faces. One shines gently under the morning sun. The other is a monster, untamed, merciless, and hungry. And when the sea turns, every human rule becomes meaningless. A small fishing boat is caught in a nightmare. Towering waves, as high as a 3-story building, slam into the hull like sledgehammers. Each crash shakes the vessel to its core. It groans under the weight of wind and water. On deck, fishermen cling to anything they can grab. But the ocean is relentless. It gives no one mercy. Then, Peru. A tsunami strikes without warning. Dozens of boats are tossed like toys, smashing into one another, splitting apart like twigs. The beach becomes a war zone. Equipment, ropes, and shattered debris fly through the air. Just moments before, people were working peacefully. Now they're running for their lives. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, off the coast of the UK, a massive container ship crashes directly into an oil tanker. The explosion is deafening, like thunder ripping the sea in half. Flames erupt across the waves. Black smoke coils into the sky, turning daylight into a nightmare. In that moment, the ocean doesn't drown, it burns. Within minutes, wave, ice, and fire merge into a threefold disaster. And humans? We're left in survival mode, with nothing but raw instinct and a sliver of luck. No alarms, no time to react, just chaos. With the ocean, a calm morning can become a full-blown catastrophe in the blink of an eye. And when it's angry, there's no force on Earth that can stop it. Meanwhile, on the coast of Nazaré, Portugal, home to the tallest waves on Earth, a lone surfer does what no one else dares. He paddles straight into a 25-meter wave, a wall of water so massive, a single hit could pulverize bone. No support team, no safety rope. Just one man, one board, and a wave so colossal it could silence the planet. Why would anyone do this? Because the ocean is not just a threat, it's a test. A test of fear, of courage, of how far we're willing to go to find out who we really are. And these people, the ones who challenge the sea, they prove something powerful. Not everyone who faces the ocean survives, but everyone who dares deserves to be called a hero. The sea is always seductive. In the early morning light, the waves shimmer like crystal. The breeze brushes gently through your hair. Waves kiss the hull of a boat, whispering calm. In moments like these, it's easy to forget. Just a few feet below that surface lies a world where life and death constantly coexist. Yes, the ocean is beautiful, but behind that beauty hides a cold, unrelenting cruelty. Have you ever seen a wave swallow a 100-ton cargo ship in seconds? Have you witnessed a fisherman break through the surface, gasping for air, moments after his boat was shattered like a toy? These aren't CGI effects. They're not scenes from Hollywood. They're real. Captured on dash cams, on drone footage, on cameras that often recorded their last signal before silence. The ocean can be peaceful one minute, then unleash its fury the next. And when it turns, nothing we build, ships, maps, machines, can stand against it. A single massive wave doesn't just sink a vessel. It wipes out the hope, the dreams, and entire lives invested in a journey across the sea. We like to think we've conquered the ocean, but the truth, we are just visitors, passing over a realm that never belonged to us. So if your pulse raced while watching this, if your breath caught or your palms went cold, don't look away, because what you've seen so far is just the beginning. The next storm is already on its way.